Hello everybody and welcome to TradeStation's Market Review. My name's Simon Clarke from Trade with Precision, and I'll be discussing a general review of some of the most interesting markets and trends that I'm keeping an eye on this week. Now, if we take a look at the mini Dow future and review what I was looking at last week. Last week the market had just broken above the 18,100 level up here where we'd previously found resistance, and I was expecting a bit of a pullback in price, maybe to around the sort of 18,000 level before looking for higher prices. We'll just take a look at some of these higher time frame trends just to make sure, review why I'm interested in this market long. We can just see here on the monthly chart, very strong bullish uptrend, looking extremely well structured and nice, and no sign of, at this moment in time, of a weakening momentum here. Same here goes for the weekly chart. In fact, the weekly chart has been more recently in a bit of a sideways sort of consolidation here, but more recently the market's now just broken above the high of that. So very bullish structure, looking very nice long. Let's come and take a look at the daily chart, and the daily chart we can see we've got this level that we saw there on the weekly. It's around 18,100. The market last week had just broken above 18,100, and because it had done it with quite a bit of momentum, a couple of very strong bullish days to do that, I was expecting a bit of a pullback in price. Pullback to 18,000 before the market moved on. In fact, if we take a look at the 4-hour chart now, we can see exactly what happened in a bit more detail. So the market did pull back to 18,000. In fact, it pulled back to its previous market structure here level, which was 17,900. Found support here before retesting 18,000 again, finding support again there before market moving higher even still. So here on these lower time frames, we can certainly see the market respecting these previous support and resistance structures that price action's putting in. So I like to leave these in my charts just to be able to reflect on them if price starts to come back down to those levels. Certainly at the moment the market's pulled into the moving averages, so not looking too overextended here on the 4-hour chart. However, we do need to be a little bit cautious because going back here to the daily is looking a little bit more overextended, but we know that there's some good support levels underneath price action should we get a bit of a pullback. So mini Dow future for me, certainly like this market long going forward. If we come and take a look at the crude oil though, and review what I was looking at with crude oil. If we take a look at the daily chart, last week we had this green bullish candle here right back into the moving average zone. What I spoke about was the fact that if we got a break above the high of this candle, I'd be looking for long prices moving higher. If we got a break below the low, I was expecting a little bit more of a deeper pullback. In fact, the market did break above the high. We did get a move higher, but we didn't get a higher high. We got a lower high in price before the market's now come back to retest or very closely retest the previous low. And we can see from the past couple of days the price action's looking rather sort of indecisive at this moment in time. So if we come down to the 4-hour chart, we can start to see this in a little bit more detail. So I've just moved my level up here just underneath sort of current price action, and we can see that this has been resistance and support through here a number of times. So this is just now around the sort of 59 level. We've got another level up here above the previous high. This is around just underneath the 63 level. So I think we've got two nice sort of market structure levels here in price action. So for me, underneath a decisive break underneath 59, I think we could get certainly a bit of a deeper retracement, at least maybe down to sort of 57 as first base. If we get a break above 63, I think we could be looking for a continuation of this uptrend and higher prices too. If we take a look at soybeans, now soybean meal actually is another one that I'm keeping an eye on this week. And if we take a look at the monthly chart first of all, the monthly chart been in a nice strong uptrend for some time with rising prices. Market made a higher low, then it made a lower high, and now market started to roll over. If we look at the indicators here, so one of the techniques that I use with these indicators is to gauge momentum here in the market, and I can see that we've just got agreement here in the sort of current price action and the way that we read these indicators. So now we've got a lower high, in price. We'd start to look for, well, where may price at least start to move to? We're possibly down here towards the 278 level. 278, 280 level is the next sort of area where we've got potential resistance coming into being potential support if the market retests that area. So if we take a look at the weekly chart with that in mind, we can start to see here the lower high that we saw there on the monthly, and we've got quite a bit of sideways consolidation here as the market started to move lower. In fact, if we start to come down to the daily chart, we can start to see some interesting levels in here. So just marking my sort of structure levels in here. So if I zoom right out, we've got something in here around the sort of 308 area where the market's found resistance in the past through this consolidation. More recently it's found support, and now the market's broken underneath it. We've now got a nice structure here with our moving averages looking nice, nice momentum to the downside. So we know that previous support and resistance structures, certainly if the market comes back up underneath it, it's likely to find a certain element of resistance here for the price to move higher. In fact, we are in a downtrend here on the daily anyway, so expecting around a bit of resistance around here, and for the market to, if that's the case, the market potentially to move lower. I'll just mark that level in there that we were looking at on the monthly chart as potential level there on the monthly chart. That's around sort of 280. Very, very reasonable move, or nothing in the way of price sort of reaching this sort of area down here. So if I come down to the 4-hour chart as well and just start to mark my levels in there, so around sort of 308 I was looking at there on the daily. If I just sort of zoom out of this, we can see 308 sort of tested a few times. Let me zoom into it. At this moment in time, market's sort of starting to pull back. We've started to get some upward movement here, so I'm keeping a close eye on 308, looking to see if the market can get through 308 or find resistance here, in which case looking for lower prices down towards sort of 280. So that's a couple of markets that I'm keeping a close eye on for through this week. Let me just tell you about the webinar that we're running this week on Wednesday. If you come across to the TradeStation International website, come across to the webinars tab here and then click on live webinars. You'll then find the schedule here of webinars that we're running. This week we have today's top charts, the Forex market. We can just come and click on the subscribe tab here, and then you'll be able to find out more information about the webinar and also how to subscribe. So you can just fill in your details here to subscribe. This is a live market analysis webinar. We're going to be taking a look at the live markets on the TradeStation platform, looking at the most interesting trends, the most interesting market structures, and where those trading opportunities are. Okay, hope you found it useful and look forward to speaking to you on the webinar. Bye for now.